So good afternoon and welcome to this new edition. I'll be talking about the human rights impact of estate regeneration on existing residents, especially those in situ and parties with vested interests in the land or the property. And this is directly related to estate regeneration, commonly referred to as housing estate regeneration, but what I refer to as estate expropriation through using compulsory purchase orders and using demolition as the first resort. The report places emphasis on the European Convention on Human Rights, which is integrated in the Human Rights Act of 1998, specifically focusing on Article 6, Article 8, and Article 1 of the First Protocol of the European Convention on Human Rights, as well as the human rights of children and racial minorities, which in respect of race or the discrimination aspect of the Human Rights Convention on Human Rights, it is intersectional. So that means those rights have to be contested in conjunction with another convention right to be able to, for the complainant to argue as to whether their rights have been breached or violated under the convention right. Broadly, the case for and against estate regeneration is ferociously contested. Advocates for estate regeneration contend that housing estates is beneficial to communities and residents, asserting that it leads to job creation, it allows the rejuvenation of the areas, improving the living spaces, and increases the supply of social and affordable housing, so-called. However, residents and other activists argue that the practice leads to the displacement, dispossession, and disenfranchisement of residents, further stating that the practice is a form of psychological violence inflicted on disproportionately on racially diverse and historically disadvantaged communities. And further observations from opponents of estate regeneration argue, or they suggest, that the outcomes of estate regeneration are arguably associated with commercial interests. And these commercial interests lead to negative outcomes for residents and other communities, and thereby potentially heightening the intergenerational inequality, which was already aggravated by the impact of COVID-19 in 2020, which led to a global lockdown. And so the report, my observations in some of the books